Hello and welcome to the Legends Series part of Santa Ana Main Stage A. I'm your host, Nikita Wraithwell Buffy, and we have a really exciting day planned for you today here in the garage. Behind me, you can see Big Betty, and we have all four teams that are getting ready. First match will be coming up soon, and to talk about that in a little bit more depth, it's our casters and analysts, Squid and Hawker, who will be just talking about that.
Welcome, of course. We are here with this main stage. How are you doing, Hawker?
I'm doing very well, and look at how nice this stage is for what it's worth. The studio is very nice here. It's been good.
Yeah, no, of course. And we're here, obviously, for this main stage, for the first day of it. It's Group A, of course. A lot of talent here today. Who have you really got your eye on?
In terms of winning this group, I think it has to be Ago. They've been a very good Polish team. They've even been able to beat Virtus Pro on occasion, which is obviously impressive. And just overall, the entire roster, I think, has a lot of talent on it.
Yeah, of course. And we've been looking at Ago for some time. What is it about Ago that really does catch your fancy?
I think the main thing is just that no one particularly stands out in the lineup, but the whole team is very, very talented. I think that's not to be underestimated. The fact that the whole team does perform. It's not just a couple of players sort of carrying them. And I think that teamwork also is really shown in when, especially on their T sides, they go for executes. It seems like their team play is very, very sort of well coordinated.
Yeah, of course. I think Ago probably, just in terms of that star power, is probably maybe that alone will just pull them through today. But of course, they have got opposition in the form of Envious Academy, Valiance, and co. And obviously, they might pose a bit of a threat as well. What do you think about a team like Valiance? Because obviously, we kind of would see them as a more stable roster. Obviously, been together for so long. What do you think of a team like that?
I think they're pretty well suited to be where they are, but I don't know how much further they can take it with this roster. It does kind of feel like they maybe need one more player to sort of get them up there. Obviously, everyone knows about Hunter. He's the one you always seem to talk about on this team. Yeah. I think he's been very, very good against Tier 3 opposition, but I don't know if he's proven it against sort of the best yet. I mean, we've seen him play against Ago in the past. He hasn't been particularly great. He's been okay, but it does seem like when he gets to that sort of level, sometimes he can struggle. Yeah,
sometimes Hunter can be that star power, especially at that lower tier, right? But maybe against names like AGO, maybe he might crumble. Perhaps he could have that. And just as a team as well, we usually say that they're very stable. And what I mean by that is just because they've been together so long, they're good in those clutches. They really know how to play off each other. But when it comes to that star power, sometimes maybe they're lacking it compared to a team like AGO, who really have fought the big dogs as well. Obviously, in Poland, you've got a lot of potential there. Everybody fighting about each other in Polish leagues. Virtus Pro only recently deciding not to play in those Polish leagues and focus on MTL and other tournaments instead. What do you think it is about those Polish teams like AGO that really does give them that sort of standout power?
Yeah, it's pretty tough to say overall specifically what there is about Poland. I guess there has been for a long time that one best team you can always look up to, and you can always say, hey, there is a very good Polish team. We can try and compete with them, and that's always something that can help a scene out. And yeah, there's been a lot of sort of vying teams sort of in that second to fifth sort of area who have been performing very well in that region.
Perhaps it's that motivation as well, knowing that the top Polish team is almost crumbling, to think, oh man, if I do really well here, I've got a spot there. I've got a spot at that huge salary. I've got a spot at getting on that ES Force payroll. Perhaps, maybe, I don't know, but perhaps that's what they're really looking at. Looks like we are getting straight into this game though, right into the ninth round. AGO versus Valiance. Gotta give you a quick prediction early on. Come on, give me a prediction, like a scoreline for this match. Obviously Inferno.
Yeah, overall Inferno, I think this is actually gone kind of well in terms of Valiance getting a map they do like to play fairly often, but I still think you've got to predict Ago to take this overall. Something like 16-10 seems about right to me.
Yeah, so maybe a quite kind of close scoreline. Of course, AGO starting on that CT side. Ago that. Do you think that that's like hugely favors them massively?
On Inferno, I don't think it necessarily matters too much, but just in general, being able to start on the CT side if you want to sort of warm up your shots, that's always nice. But I guess we need to look at the Valiant side of things as well, because they've gotten for 2 sets of nades in this initial pistol round. You can see them spreading out to start things off. It doesn't look like we're going to see any sort of fast play on their side of things. So despite having the banana control, not committing to the B play just yet. And I guess they might just set up a later round push.
No kit on that Ego side as well. It's going to be very difficult in the retake to actually get that bomb defuse. Of course, 10-second, very long defuse time there. You can see the lovely little Big Betty sign at the top of banana as well. Loving that. See Valiance taking their assault towards this B side of things.
Yeah, still the time ticking down. And of course, Ago on their side of things are going to see the smokes coming over the top. So here we go. Tao is tapping through the smoke, but he's not going to connect. Instead, finally gets the first headshot. But now the push is going to come forwards. Jocks it going so aggressively here, jumping up, and he's going to get his head taken clean off. Very, very aggressive from Valiance, but they will at the very least get the bomb planted.
5 versus 3, gotta rescind, gotta receive back into this site. Obviously, great after plant positions here, and only Netney with body armor. Everybody else completely naked, and Snatchy trying to take a piece of this action. You see 14 HP, getting tagged down and finally finding the shots. Everybody knocking out opposition, and you can just see that those odds there. 1.4 odds for AGO, pretty heavily favored in this one. Valiance pretty much half the chance of maybe taking this one home.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say. I mean, you look at the last time these two teams played, actually, and on the Valiant side of things, they picked Inferno, but they still couldn't take the win. So that's why I think the map has kind of gone pretty well for them. But at the same time, Ago beat them the last time they played this map. So that is certainly also understandable as to why they are fine to play it. And of course, after getting the bomb plant, we will just see a fairly hard eco from Valiance, not expecting to see too much. Although sometimes you do see CTs on these sort of rounds on Inferno especially, play some angles they don't necessarily need to, up close in towards apartments. So there is maybe some potential for Valiance if Ago don't play things 100% safe.
You can see AGO just playing back on these sites, playing extremely passive, of course. Majority of their players on these SMGs. 3 players, in fact, with the M4. So that rifle potential there as Valiance do sneak, slither the way in. It is Lenny up front, just trying to crawl his way through. You can see they're about to make this burst.
Yeah, Valiance now making their way forwards. You can see the push coming in, and Letney does get that first headshot. This becomes slightly worrying now for Ago. They don't particularly have the rotate here, so it's only 2 players holding it off. PHR just about gets a frag back. And it's the 2 SMGs still trying to lock down A, but another bomb plant. There goes PHR, though, spraying down, and Snatchy is still in pit, tapping away, and he will get that frag to leave Hunter all alone. But still, the bomb plant already coming through as Hunter falls at the end of the round. Not a bad start for Valiance, all things considered. This should be pretty much a full buy for them into this upcoming round.
Yeah, eliminating those 2 SMGs as well doesn't allow Ago to have that run and gun potential into the next round. Of course, Valiant should be probably going for a buy here. Obviously, it's so much money after double buys up. And remember, that was a minimal investment. They had barely any Kevlar, barely anything to work with whatsoever. And now it's AKs galore, maybe proving slightly more of a threat. But what's this from Ago? Look, double up setup already.
Yeah, certainly worth pointing out. We're going to see PHR peek towards mid, and only AK's on the other side. He spots the man. Oh, still not pulling the trigger. In fact, it's Tao to go down first. And PHR still not really connecting here towards mid. A little bit of an awkward push coming in from Ago. They're going to continue to move forwards as Furlan only finds the one frag before he is dropped. And Hunter was in position towards mid, but Valiance are just finding frags all across the map. Finally, Snatchy's AWP will get one back. But these double AWPs not necessarily doing enough. But just as I say that, PHR himself does get another pick. Valiance now, they're going to group up towards top mid. The AWP up close gets the one kill. But in comes the trade, bringing us back to a 1-on-1.
Snatchy got to hightail his way into this bomb site. Obviously, no kit. Pretty much been the talk of the town for AGO so far. They've barely had it to talk of at all. He's going to have to get his way in fairly quickly, but it's a nice after-plan position from ME. Hidden away here, pretty much untouchable. Unless Snatchy can really push aggressive, find this angle. It's going to be a very long trek back onto this bomb site, clearly. I'd say probably drop this smoke, possibly try and find it. You can see he's trying to peek all his way around, now giving up the audio cues to ME, who slithers out just in time. Big tag, but ME is able to find it anyway.
Yeah, spray through the smoke is good, and Valiance are good to take their first round, but more importantly, start to pressure that CT economy very early on here. We are going to see Ago commit to the force. Out comes the one rifle from Furlan, but this still doesn't look like a particularly great buy. Especially with the utility, it's going to be fairly tough for them to actually try and fight towards Banana early on. Sometimes you see teams go for deep smokes, go for incendiaries to slow the push. You can see only the one incendiary coming out on the CT side of things in this round. So the Poles will not particularly be able to fight towards Banana early on, and they have to pretty much give that up to Valiance early into the round. So a fair amount of map control for the Ts to start things off.
Yeah, obviously 4 players up Banana, probably going to be this B execute. With both Furlan, Toa, both hidden away here. That's both the weapons on this B site. Obviously Furlan spraying a little bit, giving that away pretty early, but Valiance, they're not scared. They want to continue this charge. You can see the bomb starting to pull back towards mid, maybe go for Renee rotation. I feel like they're wanting to find a pick on this B site and then go for the execute, but yeah, the bomb doesn't seem to phase so far. Perhaps thinking that that M4, take a couple of shots, pop it back to the A site. You can see setting up with these smokes now. It's going to be Joxic throwing that one to cut off Pit, cut off any visual from AGO, but they've got a nice stack here. Obviously, Flower Pot boost in mission. Furlan on this site, it's going to be a tough hold.
Yeah, Snatchy already getting the first with just the 5-7, and Furlan chimes in. It's all of Ago finding frags as Furlan doubles down from the sights. And Joxic didn't have a chance to do anything with the AWP. Finally gets the one shot, but that is all she wrote. Furlan picks up a triple with the one rifle Ago had. And as you were saying, a really nice B hold there. Having the 3 players in position, they all got a pick to start things off. And at that point, Valiance couldn't really do much about it. Even with the smokes being deployed, they didn't really have the rest of the nades. They didn't really molly off too many positions. And so Ago could just hold those crossfires and lock down the push.
And you can see not wanting to give this one up early. Back with the pistols, SMG as well, but Toa taking the initiative into his own hands. Pushing straight onto mid, finding a pair of frags. See Grubby as well, wanting to get aggressive, wanting to extend these Angels. Not fearful of the Deagles, instead going for these really aggressive peaks. And it seems to be working out for the Poles so far.
Yeah, again, these pistols, trying to see if they can get any close fights in towards apartments. But Ago are going to stay fairly safe on towards A. So not looking too likely, especially with, of course, those first 2 picks going against them. And yeah, a little bit surprising to see the aggression out in towards apartments early on. That is always going to be somewhat of a risk, especially as you can get spammed fairly easily and nade can come in towards you. That's always something that can go wrong. But this time it works out for Ago to get those first 2 frags. And Valiant slowly but surely creeping their way up towards A. But still plenty of Ago players ready for the hold.
Yeah, you can see the smokes down as well. They're pincering them out for so long. Snatchy finally mollied off, has to find different angles. PHR goes down, puts a lot of pressure on him, finds a shot. Grubby as well, both swipe in. And Snatchy finds both, 4-1 now. Ago, and you can see how confident and composed they are, just falling back into this site. Obviously, playing a last-ditch attempt to the A site, not getting aggressive on that offset. Obviously, trying to go for the initial frags and the openings, but then when it hits that minute mark, deciding to recede back, hide away into pit, and let Valiance take the fight to them. And this time, didn't work out for these Ts.
Yeah, a couple of nades down mid, nearly connect early on, but Valiance will stay safe. And you can already see the odds start to shift away from them here, especially being forced back down to a hard eco. Should be a very easy cleanup for the Poles. Grubby out towards mid, executes one, looks for a second, maybe overcommitting there. But PHR only gets the 1 frag, so the Glock's doing some work. Snatchy still in position, choosing to use the 5-7 up close, still struggling, but eventually gets the kill. And despite it looking a little shaky, Snatchy lands a no-scope for the final kill and just about shuts down the A-site play.
He looks so on point right now, playing arms race, getting out the AWP pistols, firing on all cylinders and hitting seemingly every single shot, taking 3 for him. And Valiance just couldn't close the distance there. Up against an AWP, you need to be getting up close and personal. Wasn't able to happen there. This time with the AK-47s, wanting to be seeing something faster from Valiance. You can see them charging the way up, second mid, straight towards this A site. Ago, with this economy, have so much in the way of utility to hold them out, let this clock droop down. And when Ago have been playing the passive approaches, Valiance haven't been able to really break it apart at all.
Smoke deployed from Valiance to try and get towards short, but Snatchy is in position with one of those AWPs again. Grubby's there, but Snatchy doubles down, and it's all up to Letty. He will drop as well. Snatchy yet again showing up with that AWP. He gets himself a triple kill round after round to continue to shut Valiance out. And even though Valiance's losing bonus is starting to build up, they are still not going to be in a position to buy. And considering that was a full buy last round, Ago not losing a single player, they must be feeling great about their chances right now.
And it's all about those crossfires. On the A site, 3 players all peeking at once. Great teamwork and coordination from the Poles there. Obviously a well-tenured team. And against this Valiant side, who are really unable to close the distance. I've said it before, feeling like a broken record here, but Valiance, again with the pistols. Money completely broken. Obviously, that loss bonus starting to finally build up now. But here you go. Double AWPs once again. Really favouring it on Inferno here. They got it out super early in this map, and it is a bit of a talking point. And why not? When Snatch is firing on all cylinders, Furlan, being a great supportive AWP. See him finding a shot already. Great start for the Poles.
Yeah, Furlan has been a bit more stable, but to be fair, he hasn't had too much action towards the B site, so he hasn't really needed to do anything so far. And yet, again, we're going to see action towards A, but Furlan proving he can also show up, gets a second frag. Oh, PHR there doesn't get a single kill before Emmy takes him out with that Desert Eagle. But Grubby is here for the flank, drops the bomb, but Hunter, jiggling in and out with the CZ, gets himself the trade. So it does go back to a 2 versus 3, but the push came out through Banana. Just look at the positions on the map. This is so awkward right now.
Yeah, tucked away in CT spawn. Joxic looking to hold out those rotations. Hunter walking into no man's land, getting his face blown off. Just Joxic left. And he's got to contend with Snatchy. This AWP threat, he's been hitting seemingly everything so far. Joxic actually hits a nice crisp headshot. Levels this back to a 1 versus 2. Furlan, Toa both left, but with 10 seconds, he's wanting to save this AWP, hide away, perhaps back to CT spawn where he's found himself the majority of this round. Yeah, he's all said and done in this one. Probably going to be able to survive with AGO so far away. And you can really see those odds start to shift now. Valiance, yeah, 5 times your money. Well, almost 5 times your money if you're putting it on now. I would say probably not a very safe bet. Probably looking to lose your money at this point. AGO just looking so strong.
Yeah, and yet again, those double AWPs are showing up. I mean, you can see Furlan towards B really hasn't had too much to work with so far. Only the 1 death on his side of things. We've seen Valiance try to get these A-site pushes to work, but they just haven't been able to crack the AWPs so far. And again, Snatchy feeling so confident, pushing through this mid-smoke. Letney on the other side seems somewhat aware, and here comes Joxic peeking up from underpass. And that AWP on the T side this time gets the opening frag from the Valiant side of things. And you can see they're not going to commit to the push now. They were lining up some sort of push towards A, but no need to do so after Joxic finds that opening frag.
Obviously, 4 versus 5 here. Valiance finally have the utility to be able to go for a decent execute, possibly on this A site. Not thin in number, though, as AGO. They have rotated this 3rd and final member over. Only Furlan holding on this B site. He's been such a stable rock. So putting him over there without the AWP is certainly not a set deal if Valiance want to attack it. Definitely the weak point on this map nonetheless. Scrubby tosses out a Molotov, going to be slowing them down. One more time, you can see that utility starting to thin. With 50 seconds left, they're not going to be able to hold the Serbians out for long.
Letney just waiting around the corner. Might be getting some action soon, and there are 3 players still on the A bomb site. See Tao up close. The smokes have come over the top, and in comes the push in towards mid. How is Tao in that position right now? He gets himself a kill before the trade comes out, and that gives a lot of info over to the CT side of things. PHR gets the 1, nearly the 2nd, but Neno just about finds the trade, but there's still a player on the site. It's Grubby who could make all the difference, gets the 1 kill, and he slows them further as he finds a 2nd, and in comes Furlan, pushing through the smoke. That was all about Grubby slowing things down and allowing the B rotate to get into position.
And that one's all about teamwork. Furlan, perfect support there. In the 1 versus 2, you need to get that shot in thick and fast. Was able to do so. Now a pause, maybe a desperate one from Valiance. They are really struggling to put anything on the board whatsoever. Once again, they do have the money to be able to go for a decent buy. Maybe some sort of execute once again, but it really hasn't been working out. I don't know. If you were Valiant, if you were a coach watching this match right now, what would you be saying to them? Where have they even found any success?
Yeah, it's been tough. I mean, they've tried to find success continually over towards the A bomb site, but that has not worked whatsoever. It might just be worth trying to go for some sort of B play. We have seen it once or twice come out earlier on, but it never really feels like they've gone for a full B execute. Maybe if they had the mollies a bit more well placed, they would be able to get the opening kill. We've seen a lot of times as well, Furlan's been sitting fairly far back in towards Ruins with the AWP. He's not particularly been competing towards Banana, so you would think it's possible to smoke him out of position and get sort of some ground towards that B bomb site if they go for a push there. So that's sort of the logical thing to go for. But of course, Ajo at this time will also be discussing if they need to switch anything up, if they think Valiance are going to go for any sort of plays. So I guess we'll get to see if that mind game plays into things. But it looks like Ajo just sticking to their default setup, as you would expect when they are 8-1 up.
Yeah, of course, playing that AWP so far back in Ruins, you can throw one smoke down, sneak in a bomb plant. That's pretty much a round guaranteed right there. You can see AGO just storming ahead right now, once again against these AKs. Hunter's even whipping out the MAC-10, so got a bit of running gun potential, a bit of running firepower. It's the 3 men looking to burst out, possibly onto Pit, but AGO, they've been able to contend with this and contest it pretty much every single time. The crossfire again is perfect. Em is only able to find one. PHR, low HP on this site, dodging and weaving as Emmy does find a pair. Needs to maybe dispatch a PHR, and he finally gets rid of. As Letney does find one more. It's Emmy again for his third. Leaves Furlan in a fairly difficult and sticky situation with a minute left, but peeking through this smoke. Has Letney spotted him? Is he going to try and find him?
Yeah, this looks very awkward.
What was
okay.
That?
Okay, then. I was about to say this looks very awkward for the teams.
What was that?
Yeah, they were both so low on health there, but I guess 1 bullet, 1 headshot, that's the round 1. You kind of saw...
Did he see him?
I don't know. Ego there on the push, on the hold, sorry. They were looking good to stop that push early on, but I guess Emmy just coming out of apartments alongside the rest of the team finally get the job done. Their money's not going to be great still, of course, on the Valiant side of things, but they can still, of course, get the buy into this round and hope to finally get some rounds 1 in a row. And you're going to see yet again Hunter try to get the MAC-10 working up close in towards apartments. Not going to be all that easy for him because, again, mostly playing safe on the CT side, but Snatchy is here with the AWP. This could be dangerous. The flash comes in. Snatchy, yet again, gets that first kill with the AWP. And even though Hunter was up close with the MAC-10, doesn't matter when you are full blind.
Yeah, it doesn't matter when Snatchy's hitting shots like that either. So fast. And often it's very easy to just run out, unscoped, go for the no-scope, really whiff it, allow that MAC-10 to capitalize, but not this time. It's funneling Valiance through to this B site where there you go. They've got 2 players hidden back. Furlan's going to be the first, and he's been great with these reactionary shots so far. Big flash, but he's going to be able to go for this repeat. His Toxic actually takes the shot, tags up for Letney as well. Now they've got to funnel into Toa.
Yeah, he's still holding in a fairly tough position, and Letney just takes his head clean off. As the re-smoke comes into CT, Ago will have to make their way back around, but this fight towards Banana could be critical. If Neno gets this kill, then it's going to be much, much easier to hold the bomb. Here comes Neno peeking, and he does find that headshot himself. And you can see now the players coming from Ruins have it all to do. Johnsick, though, misses that shot. That is a huge miss, as now Neno from Banana, sure, he has the bomb in his sights, but he's got to spray them both. And he will do just that. The Macedonian wins the round for Valiance. Again, it's tight for the win, but they are finally putting some rounds together.
Completely bailing Joxic out there, missing a critical, crucial AWP shot. Back of B. Should have been able to hit that 7 days of the week. Not his lucky day, obviously. Just one of those whiffs. One of those ones that you have to kick yourself for. Valiance now 2 in a row, finally forcing those eco. And that just pays sentiment to how close a lot of these rounds have been. Sometimes AGO going down to low players. It's mostly been confident. It's mostly been a lot of players alive, but obviously dropping 1 or 2 rifles per round obviously has such a cost to it. You can see Grubby getting aggressive here. Getting caught out by Hunter, who finds a pair of headshots.
Very quick reactions from Hunter. In the meantime, looks like some play towards Banana will be coming through, but it is not meant to be. Letney gets that first frag on the push, and Furlan is waiting around the corner. He's going to go for the peek himself. However, again, those AKs, 1 by 1, will dispatch the Ago side of things. Just PHR left. And Valiance, some very important round wins. Even if they were close round wins, they didn't exactly feel like the most convincing round wins. They make sure they can shut down the AGO economy. That was the most important thing at this point, because now they can get some easier rounds like this one, where Letni will close out the final kill. And it's just going to make sure they actually have at least a decent number of rounds already built up. 4 is okay, but of course, into the latter stages of this first half now, they'll be looking for a couple more to remain competitive.
Yeah, and you can see Valiance finally starting to get a foot in this half. 8-1 wouldn't have been a great scoreline, probably looking at getting rolled over, possibly a 13-2 there, but finally looking maybe in contention of doing some damage to this AGO side. Rifles all around for the Poles, for A4s, and that one Emperor A1S. You don't see them as much nowadays, but I like it. I like it. I use an Emperor A1S myself, so I can't.
I mean, it's easier to control, so for noobs like you, I guess.
Oh, damn!
I guess maybe you need that.
Oh, shots. Ooh. Shots fired. Ooh. Probably with an A4.
It's only game 1. We're firing shots.
So, yeah, I know. Got to work with you for 2 days.
Ooh.
He's already going for the low blows. Loving that. People will love that. People will love that. You should put it on Twitter. That'll get a lot of likes.
Oh, yeah. I mean, again, Valiance here, they're grouping up around Banana. They have had success towards the B site. This time the Molotovs are placed. This is what I was hoping to see. We don't see this kind of play enough. Out comes the smokes. Talbot's going to try and spray the smoke. He nearly gets the kill, but it's Furlan instead to steal it away, and he gets a double on the hold. Despite the Molotovs, Furlan avoids it, finally gets taken down, and Neno himself gets a frag, but there's Tao watching the aggression. Ridiculous push coming out from Valiance, but now Letni, the only man left, and the rotate over will indeed be successful for AGO again. A very sort of sloppy push towards the B site, it almost felt like. That push through the smoke didn't really feel too necessary there from Valiance.
Yeah, Teo was an absolute menace through that smoke, though. They were paranoid of that flower pot boost just because he was hitting so many shots, such a sheer quantity of bullets actually hitting. He only found 2 frags in the end, but he did about 4 kills worth of damage, an absolute menace through the smokes. And there you go, you can see rifle setup again. They were favoring that AWP earlier, but maybe Valiance, maybe adapting a little too much, realizing what exactly is going on. And you could see, here you go, they've really started to scale back.
Yeah, and again, we are seeing Valiance be fairly prepared for their pushes, but still, AGO have just been able to frag out on the holes. Yet again, it's all 5 players sticking together as a unit. We've seen almost always just full executes from Valiance, never really trying to sell a fake. And that might be part of the reason that AGO have been so comfortable with heavily rotating over, because again, the smokes and flashes are coming through, and AGO will slowly but surely start to rotate over. You can see Furlan hoping to connect, but that will not be the case. And this time, looking like a more clean execute from Valiance as they make their way towards the site.
You can see being held out by these smokes. Furlan trying to take a mad spray through, preventing that bomb plant, but Valiance have still got 5 players roaming here. Even the AWP threat on Banana of Joxic. He's been hitting shots left and right, but finally Furlan finding one. Was that actually a... That was actually a wallbang, so something that we don't often see, this teamwork and coordination, preparation coming out from AGO, and that's something that we don't see every day. I'd like to see that again at some point. Puts a lot of pressure on these final 3 members who do, regardless, find frags. All down to Furlan, 34 HP, hidden away on this site, bomb ticking fast, and have to... Well, he's going to be punished by this crossfire, but that was actually a nice opening shot from Furlan. Did you see it? It was right through the mosaic. It was right through the glass window.
Yeah, the spray through runes. It's pretty easy to spray through that, actually. You oftentimes see AWPs try it and see if they can deny the bomb plant, just as kind of a luck sort of thing. But I do like to see the full spray coming in. And of course, here, heading into the last round of the half, AGO are not going to have the best of buys. They have got themselves a fair few pistols alongside Grubby with the 1 FAMAS. So that is the only rifle to work with. And yet still Valiance going in towards Banana. Up against the CZs, this could be a little bit scary in towards this push.
Have to fun on the way into this CZ. Teo, 2 kills, both headshots. Very low HP as well, but assisted by this flash. Tries to peek out for more. Letni punishes. Valiance, they do have Banana control, but it came at a cost. Losing 2 players, all these rifles, trying to juggle them back. What a mess.
Yeah, again, normally you just see a Molotov in towards sandbags. That's fairly standard when you know you're up against a weaker buy, but we don't see that come through. We might see Hunter instead take a fight. Snatchy just about stays safe. And in the meantime, Furlan tries to force the issue, but he will lose his life because of it. You can see now Valiance thinking about rotating back, but Snatchy will certainly be able to cut them off if they do try to attempt to do so. And you can see Valiance somewhat stuck in towards Banana here, but still with the big weaponry advantage, they should be favored even if they go for this B push. There's only 2 players there, so still not going to be the easiest of holds for the Poles.
It's far too late for Valiance to go for the re-rotation back towards A now. They've got no map control. They've got to check so many corners. Of course, Snatchy tucked away here at second mid, looking for the corner. It's going to be instead Valiance swarming this B site. HR smoked off, tried to go for a flash of his own, but it's Grubby through this smoke with both. I don't know if he saw anything there. In the back is Snatchy, does get taken down, 10-5. So looked a bit shaky in the middle there with Valiance taking that 4 out of 5 rounds or 5 out of 6 round streak. And then it was all AGO from there on. Out double digits finally. Didn't seem like they were going to get there.
Yeah, that one FAMAS holding the B site. I think he might have got all 3 kills through the smoke. It was fairly ridiculous, but I'm sure Ago will be more than happy to take that 10th round on the board. And look at these buys. A lot of utility from both sides. Emmy even has an incendiary early on, so we'll have to wait to see where that will be deployed. He's got the flash over the top, and Ago not particularly going towards Banana. Instead, they're going to focus towards the A side of the map. They themselves, of course, have 2 sets of nades ready to utilize to try and make their way forwards. And so we will likely get to see that push come through soon.
Yeah, of course, Valiance as well. 3 sets of Kevlar, the 1 kit on Hunter. Emmy as well, he's got that Molotov, so quite a lot of utility for Valiance. Obviously, pushing Banana towards this B site in the end. Clearly, just trying to hold it out. Can't see anything right now. What's going on? What's going on, Holger?
Yeah, looks like Joxic has got the opening kill. I believe the bomb's going down towards the B bomb site. Grubby gets one back, but the bomb is still planted. So we will get to see Ago, at the very least, get the bomb plant out of this round. And of course, if they do win this round, they'll go so far ahead, it'll be really tough to see anything happening for the CT side. So
we're losing the HUD piece by piece.
Yeah.
another bit gone. And trades back and forth. Looks like AGO is going to come out on top. PHR, nice double to potentially finish it off. Feels like he finished it off. Yeah, so
yeah.
What's that, 11-5?
11-5 to Ago. And with the CTs, of course, not having too much money here. They should be forcing up, but going to be very tough to see them actually hold this one off. We are going to see, I believe, the MAC-10 here for Ago alongside a couple of AKs. You can see them filtering their way forwards, and they're not going to go necessarily in towards Banana early on, just holding off, pushing up towards top mid, making sure they have some control of the map to open things up, and not necessarily committing to any push that they don't need to go for. They still, of course, want to make sure they can close this out with the 11-5 lead.
You know, like PGL's HUD and Blast Pro Series HUD, like clearing a bit of space out in the middle. This is the ultimate viewing experience. You see as much of the action as possible.
Exactly.
That's why it's been done quite clearly.
Yeah.
Either way, CZ, top of mid, a UMP, no idea who's holding it, is going to draw his way in. Who do you reckon it is?
I don't know, but it's the Blaze, so that's nice. Oh, the dink from Joxic, but not quite the kill. Grubby takes him down first. Very, very scary again, the AK pushing in there to try and take that fight. Not necessarily required, but we will now see the whole team on the AGO side go back towards Banana and commit to this B play.
Yeah, they are going to try and fun on the way in. Lots of bullets coming through. You can see the MAC-10 spam straight onto the B side. Bit of a rotation over by the CT side. They've got reinforcement here as the bomb. They've got held out really well by that smoke. It felt like if Valiance had gone for a bit of a slightly heavier rotation over towards the B site, they could have been taken out there. Of course, with the map control as well, towards mid, towards Banana. They pretty much knew that they were going towards that B site, but with one player held out by the smoke, the other player here on the A site with, well, on the B site, sorry, with no reinforcement. Not going to happen for Valiance. What's this, 12-5? And they really are struggling. Feels like Valiance are on their last leg here.
Yeah, and I believe that was a pretty big investment from Valiance. So even if they get that buy into the first gun round, oftentimes that buy is going to be limited in terms of nades, in terms of actually even getting full weaponry. So they're really going to have to just rely on being able to win that first gun round, even if it's not quite with the optimal weaponry, not with the optimal nades, if you like. And that's never a position you want to put yourself in as, oh, we're back to the cameras. That's nice to see.
That's a shot that nobody wanted to see. People would rather have what we just saw over there. So, right, 12-5. You got any predictions? If you were ArcaneBet right now, what would you set the odds at?
It's pretty tough to say. For Valiance, it might be down at like 7-1, like even lower than that at this point. Yeah. Like it's tough to get back into this game. Even if you win that first gun round, you're still in pretty rough shape. Your opponent should still be on a bye, so not going to be that easy for them. Especially
with that pistol round loss, of course, 10-5 recoverable, but after that pistol round loss, losing it to the 12-5 point that we find that, well, we might not find ourselves at. It might not.
Hopefully we will.
It could be. Anything could happen.
Don't know.
The plates are spinning. Everything's going wrong.
Yeah.
It's fine. So, obviously, this match pretty much can say and done. I can put it over in the box. We've obviously got some more Counter-Strike coming up in a minute. It will be good job versus Envious Academy. Of course, good job filling in for Havu, dropping out last second to play some DreamHack. Cheeky bit of DreamHack. 13-5 apparently for this one. So have you got any quick predictions for the one that I just pitched?
Yeah, I think good job are probably slightly favored in that one. It's pretty tough to know for sure. I like Envy Academy, how they set themselves up. It just seems like sometimes they don't have the firepower to follow suit, and good job have been on the rise recently. And I think we were kind of saying earlier, they're a bit of an underrated team maybe just because of the region they're from. But I guess we should get back into the game because both teams are on a very important buy here. Joxic does have the AWP. We've got the full rifles from Valiance, and it's actually a much better buy than I was expecting heading into this all-important gun round.
Yeah, of course, going for a save, probably a full save in that 18th. Approaching the possibly business end of this game. PHR adding insult to injury, already finding that first kill. That was a full spray down through Banana as well. Not even knowing where it was coming from. And you can see the fallback plan, you know, is the only player over here. Everybody else stuck towards pit on the A site. The rotation's going to be a million miles away. You can see Teo even holding them here towards the A site. Finally finding that AWP and Snatchy. That is a rare shot. Missed, but PHR through the smoke again is going to find a second, and that's pretty much game, set, match, it feels.
Yeah, pretty much. No defuse kit here for the retake. Going to be very, very difficult. Maybe Ago will just overpeak and give away some kills, but even then you can see Valiance realizing there is just no way to get back to that B bomb site, and especially on that B bomb site, you can just so easily be smoked out. I mean, you can see, even after the take, Snatchy still has a smoke left, ready to deploy to slow them down. So even with a fair amount of time, Valiance cannot get into position. And Ago, again, it's just been the whole team individually really performing, I think it's fair to say. We haven't really seen one player stand out. I mean, we've seen rounds from every player, really, to be honest. Snatchy's been performing very well with the AWP in a couple of rounds. Here, PHR got those 2 important kills. And it feels like every player has had their round where they have really stepped up for the team.
Feels like perhaps Valiance pitched the ball a little too fast. And we see AGO actually winning again. That bomb exploding. Not being able to remove any of those rifles from the server as well. So wanting to end the game right there, going for that investment, rotating over, trying to remove every single rifle, but not getting any reward from it. Isn't really going to matter all too much. There is that risk-reward that definitely played in their favor there, where they lost it. It doesn't really matter anyway. It would just be a pretty much a finishing blow to this Serbian side, but the AK's out, the AWP regardless. You can see Valiance, nevertheless, still quite a shaky buy. A bit light on those smokes. It's only, well, they've got 3 smokes with 1 dropped early on. A minute 30 left as well. You can see that damage already coming into play. Letney being pre-fired completely. That was actually from the bottom of mid. Grubby getting that great spray down. And this is the differentiation between the teams. Of course, Ago, they just seem to know this map a bit better. They've been hitting the wall bangs. They've been throwing in these gimmicks, which maybe haven't been the difference maker, but have been putting them even further ahead than they ordinarily would have been.
Yeah, and here we go. Ago are going to go for yet again another push, and Furlan flicks straight up to the face of Neno. Sure, Joxic gets one back, but his position is certainly compromised. He did actually get a second kill there, but the Flames will finish him off. So this time, a 3v3 retake. The B site hold at least getting 2 kills, but still a very, very tough ask. And Valiance, well, they do get the 1 kill back. That was Snatchy's AWP dropped down in towards Ruins. And so they will try and make their way back towards the site. Still some utility left. In comes the Incendiary, in comes the smoke, but Grubby gets a kill. Trade will come out, so it's all up to Teo. 1v2 gets the first, and Emmy has to get the trade. He just about finds the dink, and Valiance will just about stay alive for the time being. But still, that was a round that required sort of some heroics there for Valiance just to keep them in this game.
It's all about clinging on. That AWP finally saved. You can see the money's going to be slightly shaky. Hunter's going to have to be dropped here. Everybody else just about able to get these rifles out. There's 2 already dropped. I think it's probably going to be 3 rifles, 2 or 3 rifles. What's Letney going to have? He's not going for the buy-up just yet. Deciding what can we scrap together. It's going to be a FAMAS to finish off the job. And with 14-6 being a scoreline, you want those AWPs out. You want as many rifles as possible to try and close this gap some way. It's about pretty much putting 1 round together at a time. There you go. No damage done by those nades initially. Obviously, that pair of Molotovs expended towards Banana, expended very early as well. Can't be used in the retakes, cannot be used to stop Ego pushing into a site. It has to do damage on Banana to be worthwhile.
Yeah, now we are just going to see the push towards Banana with the limited utility from the CT side of things. Second smoke will come in, so that should just about slow them down. Actually, sorry, that was a flash, and there comes the second smoke. There is a slight gap, and I think Emmy is trying to work with that, but he will instead just go back behind the little wooden crate there. So we'll not go for too much of a push. Furlan waiting on the other side. This could get dicey, because if Valiance get this 1 kill, they should realize it's likely a fake. In the meantime, though, kill comes back over towards A. Furlan is still trying to sell some sort of fake, but the rest of his team is in towards top mid, and Joxic, that was through the smoke, I believe, getting a second kill with that AWP, looking for the third, and that flick was so damn quick. Joxic steps up, and Valiance might just stay alive for a little bit longer.
These AK-47's got to put something together. Furlan, he snuck his way right outside B site, but Valiance still have reinforcements here. Nino, Emmy, both trying to hold it down. Shouldn't let go anytime soon. Furlan goes for a fast tap, but can't find the headshot. He's got so much to do, and Emma's able to finish it off. 2 for him, 3 for Joxic. Definitely probably the player of the game so far. Absolutely shutting down towards mid. And if that's one of the plays that really stimulates this comeback, Christ.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, we saw a couple of times Ago on their side of things. They had their AWPers. I remember specifically Snatchy, of course, got a couple of triples, but just the fashion in which Joxic got that final frag made it very, very pleasing to watch. And he's going to look for a bit more as well. Doesn't quite connect with that opening kill. Instead, it's Emmy to find the first, and Letney himself will chime in with 2 of his own. Very, very standard round. Furlan even gets his face taken out up close in towards Boiler. So Ago, as expected, lose that round, but here comes the buy. They will try to keep the pressure on. And, well, I mean, you can see the odds at the top of the screen now. I mean, Valiance, they are starting to get back into this.
You get no money back if you bet on Ago right now. You get nothing. Maybe people should place a bet on Valiance. You get a lot of money if they win. I don't know. I have no idea. I'm not a betting man myself, but if I was, that's what I would do right now. Either way, Valiance, the ball seems to be in their court. They've got the 4 rifles, the AWP as well. They've started to get the ball rolling once again, but we did see this on their T side. They got it rolling, and then Ago just put the foot down, stamped right back into the game. And you can see Ago trying to take map control once again towards Banana. I don't think there's been a round just yet where they haven't put at least 1 or 2 players over towards this side of the map, even if they have ended up going towards A. It was a mistake that Valiance made on their T side not to have that map control, to mean that they didn't have the fallback plan if they couldn't get the entry frag on the B site. You can see Joxic here to hold down the angle, look to do the job, and Nino's going to swing out even if he misses. There's the first, and they're going to have to funnel in. Joxic missing and missing. Finally hitting him and Nino, 1 and 2. Joxic seems to always find a frag when he shouldn't. And that AWP, Nino as well, able to shut it down one more time. Valiance, it should be double digits after this, possibly.
Yeah, you'd expect so. And again, Joxic with that AWP, getting a couple of kills when he needed to. That has been what's really allowed this sort of semi-comeback to start. We're not calling it a comeback just yet. We've still got a little bit of a way to go, but they are keeping the Ago economy low. and that's pretty much the first step to being able to get the comeback going. At the same time, they still need to make sure they don't underestimate a round like this, especially in Inferno. There are plenty of close positions where these pistols could catch them off guard, and we're going to see Joxic in towards mid. He could take a fight he doesn't want here, goes for the shot, but does miss, and takes a dink in the process. So you can already see the danger of those pistols as Joxic just about slithers away with his life.
That was like a screamer. So close. Hunter and Joxic both chipping in, rotating that position to the A site this time and doing damage as well. A pair of frags for him, seemingly picking up 2 every single round. Letney chipping in as well. Valiance finally starting to come alive against these pistols. And you can see Ego may be starting to struggle on this T side. They haven't really put all too much together. Finally getting out their AWP, 4 AK-47s as well. They've got plenty of nades to be able to go for an execute here. They've got to finally close this match out.
Yeah, I think it also might be worth pointing out that Valiance, their money got completely shut down at the start of that first half. So that might be part of the reason why we didn't see them have a good performance. If Joxic is going to play like this, having the AWP on the T side would have been nice, but that has not been allowed for them in that first half. That's possibly why they struggled so hard. And now they've got that AWP together, they are finding a good time of things. But we can see in this round, Valiance, again, confident that Joxic can hold Banana by himself. And Ego look to be lining up an A play. So with the 4 stacked towards the A site, Valiance will be hoping that they can hold this off, especially because they have a lot of utility left on these A players to try and slow down this push if it is to come through from Ego.
Yeah, they're certainly going to go for an execute here. You can see just gathering outside this A site. 4 players, though, for Valiance here to hold it down. And once again, they've got Joxic over towards this B site. Everybody else, that's how confident he is. He can afford to play just alone on this B site. Furlan was doing it last half, but as soon as that weakness was sniffed out by Valiance, they started taking a couple of rounds. Finally, this push coming in. The smoke's able to hold ME back. Pins it here into CT spawn. Needs to find another angle in. But Valiance, they've still got 4 players over here. Hunter should be able to close this one down. Nice fast headshot. Zego need to funnel through.
Yeah, the rest of the team will try and push forwards, but you can see plenty of players holding. Joxic does get the kill, and kills coming all across the board. Only Tail left. He does get the 1 kill. But again, just so many players left to deal with. Even Joxic rotating over in the nick of time to be able to hold off that push. And I mean, just look at the money on the Valiant side right now. They are rolling in the cash. And Ego, I mean, they're still in the lead. They should still have the advantage. But you feel like they should have just taken a timeout by now, because this has certainly got out of hand from their perspective.
We were talking about their really coordinated and fast T sides earlier, and that spoke nothing of that confidence that we were speaking of. They seem very slow. When Valiance actually had to contend with that push, he had all 5 players on that A site, and it was just an absolute brawl. Valiance, of course, coming out on top, and Nino once again putting in the frags, finding that opener.
Yeah, this time Ego try and spread out and see if they can get any opening picks themselves, but Neno just wins the opening fight, and so Ego have to play from the man disadvantage. You can see them still just spread out across the map with the bomb left back in T-spawn. So this should be a fairly slow round. I guess it's also worth pointing out, Snatchy didn't get the helmet at the start of the round, but he's already taken damage, so the M4s will be a one-shot either way. And yet again, it's Joxic towards the B site. This time, he will stick to B because it looks likely the push is going to come in towards that position. And you can see actually both of Valiance holding on towards the B site from similar positions, possibly trying to get that crossfire going, but with the AWP, that's going to be quite tricky to actually get working. I guess the second player is boosted up. However, it looks like the B setup will not matter all that much because Ego now are seemingly making their way back towards A.
And you've really, really got to commend Nino, in-game leader of this Valiant side so far. Seemingly, the rotations for Valiance have been absolutely on point, putting 4 players on A every time the push comes in. This time they've only got 3. Hunter able to find out the first, but AGO actually sweep through and find 3. Bomb finally down as Snatchy, the smokes are placed. He's holding on the other side. There's Nino. He's got so little HP left. There's Joxic as well. AWP, 1 HP.
Yeah, so low on health as well on Grubby, but he will actually not get the kill. Snatchy steals it away, and there is Grubby himself finally finding that final frag. And Ego, I think that's more what we were expecting from them. Not necessarily setting up a particularly advanced execute towards a site, but just pushing together as a team and having the communication to get those trade kills together for themselves. And it looks like on the Valiant side of things, Joxic has been playing so well with the AWP that Neno has decided he wants to get a piece of the action. They're going to go for the 2 AWPs to switch things up.
Yeah, big switch up, something that we haven't seen from the CT side just yet. It's been a bit of a battle of the CT-sided AWP so far, but Teo looking to break it apart with his AK-47. Joxic instead finds an opening once again on this CT side. He's been an absolute pincer, especially towards his A site. He's been pretty much a menace everywhere, to be perfectly honest. The Fire and Flames burning down one. ME, big double from him, able to fall back. He even got the information on the counter back to B, but calls that rotation. Hunter's here to maybe punish, rotate. And now Ego need to make a deadly final push in. It's only 2 versus 4, though. It's going to be difficult.
Yeah, Grubby there gets taken down so low through the smoke, and Hunter, himself will find that final kill. And as we were saying, Ego just really losing out earlier on into the round. And of course, now their money is in a dire position. I mean, they're going to go for at least some investment. It looks like Teo had such little money, he's decided to fully force. And the rest of the team will somewhat follow suit. In fact, yeah, they're going to fully force into this round. Furlan just going to get the Galil. Does he even get to get armor? Yes, he just about has money for the Kevlar, but still not exactly the best of buys. Scraping the bottom of the barrel on the Ego side of things. And it's a round like this where sometimes you do see the win come out. We've got to hope that Valiance can still hold it off, because they should certainly be big favorites against this sort of buy. But Ego, maybe they'll just go for a completely ballsy push and switch things up, because they know they don't really have too much to lose.
Yeah, you can see Teo already getting up close to that smoke, but Letney, he's not going to fall for it. Playing on the other side, just popping off bullets through. Is Ego finally charge into him. Second headshot for him, just holding strong in pit. There's the bomb gone as well. Is PHR last alive? So far away. Needs to get on close, but Joxic, another fast, up close and personal shot. 15-13 now. Valiance, they look dead out the water earlier on, but they really did look like they had been blown out of the water, right? But right now, they are getting right back into this. Overtime, definitely a possibility here.
Yeah, Valiance had their backs against the wall, but they managed to dodge their way out of things. And so now they're just going to have pretty much the last round to play for. It's only Glocks here for Ego. I mean, if Ego win this round, I don't even know what to say. That would just be devastating. Joxic does miss that opening kill. We are going to see the rotate come back towards A just to make sure they have enough presence towards this site, but there we go. Letney will get the first frag, making the Glocks even less likely to be able to do anything. We will also see Grubby just push by himself there. Again, still no timeout called from Ego, and we are kind of somewhat seeing these individual pushes come through. Not necessarily too much in the gun rounds, but in rounds like this, where of course there isn't as much of a chance of them winning. It seems like they could still maybe try and play a bit more disciplined, but we haven't seen that. And so as they lose the first 2 picks, this should be a very, very easy cleanup for Valiance.
3 Glocks left, just pincering around A, maybe just looking for a pick, maybe just a confident shot. Obviously, no real openings to be found. Maybe if they can charge down this AWP, but you can see there are really no holes in this Valiance defense. Hunter, kill after kill after kill, racking up those eco frags, wanting that HLTV 2.0 rating. Finally, almost getting up to that 20 kill mark. Everybody really stepping up on the Valiant side, apart from Nino, but I've already commended him. His call's been absolutely phenomenal. Might actually push the Serbians to overtime here.
Yeah, here we go. Round number 30. It all comes down to this. Ego could have thrown away that lead and have to play for overtime. And Joxic, I believe, landed that shot there, but Furlan taken down to 47 HP early into the round. So it looks like that AWP will not quite get the opening pick, but some damage is dealt. And you can see the rest of Ego are just sitting back here very patiently in towards team mid. And with the smokes coming down, Neno is more than happy to hold this somewhat sort of proactive angle, hold things off early, and wait to see if the push is going to come in. You would expect a flash to come through, but Neno does spot out the first, but doesn't connect with the kill. And so he just decides to fall back instead.
Obviously, knowing Joxic's towards that A side, feels confident to maybe go for that jump, go for that peek, and now they're wrapping in towards this B site, knowing that Nino's right here. Flash out. Oh, he hits the shot anyway. Nino able to fall back. Nobody to capitalize. There you go. They're so far away from this B site right now. They've got 4 rifles primed and ready. but just holding back, not pulling the trigger. 45 seconds in Valiance. It's back to this passive defense.
Again, the clock will slowly but surely tick down. The onus is on Ago to make the move. And you can see Valiance do have Joxic ready to rotate between the sites. He's going to come towards B as the execute comes through. Here we go. Ago going to try and make the B play work, and Teo gets the first kill. PHR with a wild spray gets another frag. And now Joxic, sure, he's in position, but the smoke will cut him off. He decides to switch it up to the AK, and a 3-on-3 to decide this game. It all comes down to this. Joxic's going to make his way back towards Ruins. Oh my god, he spots them out. I don't know if they saw him there, but Joxic doesn't get the frag.
Oh,
PHR
no.
shuts him down, and you can see the rest of Valiant so far away. Hunter and Letney having to make their way forwards now fairly quickly. Hunter just going to look for some sort of opening kill. PHR is in the open, but Hunter whiffs horribly, and it's all up to Letney by himself. He can't get it done, and Ago just about hold on for the win.
Wow, wow, wow. Devastation for Valiance right there. Looked like they were possibly going to make that comeback. Ago closed it out in the end in just miraculous fashion. No idea how that didn't go to overtime. I will be joining Nikita on the bar for a cheeky bit of bar talk right after this quick break.
Place your bets on more than 15 esports games. Deposit and withdraw easily using many worldwide payment methods. Place your bets live while enjoying the game. We offer 24/7 support and bonuses for every new user. Bet now on ArcaneBet.com.
Hello and welcome back, everyone. What an incredible game we just had there. I definitely didn't expect that result. Well, I mean, I did. I expected Ago to win, but I didn't expect Valiance to come back. I think at one point it was something like 14-5. And, you know, 2 to win. Valiance had shown a bit of life, but not too much. And then suddenly this kind of roll. What happened? Do you think it was a case of Valiance playing really well, or Ago kind of getting ahead of themselves, thinking they had it in the bag and losing focus?
I think Valiance just finally woke up, mate. I think really getting into the running, hitting those shots as well. Joxic with that CT ult was such a star. Obviously, waking up after Snatch, he completely decimated, dominated them on his CT side. That T side was a real stumbling block for both teams. Ago seemed to really slow down when it hit that 14 rounds mark, and it just seemed to be a real stumbling block for them. In the end, it just seemed like Ago really just thrived in that chaos. Obviously, on that B site at the end was such a chaotic situation. Plates spinning, things going everywhere, things flying all over the place. Just seemed like an absolute mess.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And you touched on the point there that I wanted to ask you about, was that it seemed to really be a battle of the CT side. You know, neither team seemed to shine too much on terrorists. Yeah. And then as they played, do you think, why is that? Do you think it's the teams, their preparation? Is it more the map? Can you give us a bit of a breakdown?
It was certainly those AWPers. It was Joxic absolutely beating beating them down, aggressive as well. The C word, confidence. Joxic absolutely wrecking house, and Snatchy as well. Obviously, it was about half an hour ago when we saw him on that CT-sided AWP, but we can't really forget it. He was going for picks all the way down mid. It was some really crazy Kenny-esque style Counter-Strike.
Yeah, well, I mean, he was hitting some incredible shots. I really thought that Valiance had it there in the end.
It felt like it.
And I thought at that point, because I think at one point, the odds on ArcaneBet were like 8-1 because we are taking them away, and I was like, maybe it's just worth kind of throwing a couple of dollars there. Because had they done it, people would have made pretty good money.
Yeah, I remember saying on the desk, if I was a betting man, I'd probably put a bit of money on Valiance right now. It felt like they had all the momentum going in their favor, but people weren't really picking up on it. Possibly next game, that could be something to mention.
Maybe. But yeah, I guess let's talk about... So we all said kind of before the game started, we did expect Ego to be the number one, like the favorites of the match. Unfortunately, we had Havu drop out, and they've been replaced by Good Job.
Yeah.
So these guys are... I wouldn't say unknowns, but they're definitely the underdogs of the group and everything. Matching up against Envious Academy, what do you think?
I think that they are definitely the most unknown quantity in this group. They play the least Counter-Strike out of anybody here at this level, especially Envious. They're playing every single week Gfinity Elite Series. They're playing in all these betting site tournaments as well. They're playing all the time. And everybody else, they're playing Counter-Strike pretty much every single day. Good Job. They've not had as much experience and exposure at this top level of Counter-Strike. I think we're going to go back to a quick break now. So make sure you see us back here in about a couple of minutes.
Place your bets on more than 15 esports games. Deposit and withdraw easily using many worldwide payment methods. Place your bets live while enjoying the game. We offer 24/7 support and bonuses for every new user. Bet now on ArcaneBet.com.